And now time to get back into the kitchen to whip up something that is going to boost the omega in you and your little ones. Summer holidays are just around the corner, but before your kids can have carefree fun in the sun, they need to face their exams. I know many of our matriculants are halfway through that challenge right now. Every parent wants to give their child a mental boost, and every kid loves a treat. Well, today we're combining both with BWELL's deliciously decadent Omega Brain Booster Brownies, packed with omega-3 goodness to help the little ones ace those exams, because that's what our brain runs on. Michele, buddy.
Back.
Dude, I feel like you've been very crafty this morning. I feel like you are sneaking healthy stuff into us with deliciousness. The macaroni cups earlier, mugs, genius. These, I think, will go down a treat, because who doesn't love a brownie? So what's the deal here? What makes these so special?
So essentially these are vegan and they're gluten-free if you're using gluten-free flour, which is amazing. But essentially what we're doing here is we're using this amazing canola oil that's super high in unsaturated fats and obviously packed with a lot of omega-3s. So essentially the fat that we're using in these brownies, which is different from using butter or the conventional unhealthy fats, is contributing to overall health. And we all know how important omegas are for brain boosting, energy, and for all of those benefits in our diets. And I think it's such a nice way for kids to incorporate delicious food. That's also nutritious and good for us.
Because you reach a point as a parent where you kind of throw in the towel and you realize they also eat with their taste buds. As much as you want them to just snack on a broccoli stalk, they also need to enjoy the food. Okay, so let's get cracking.
Let's get cracking. So the first thing we need to do is, this is actually flaxseed powder, which is incredibly loaded with healthy fats. I mean, there's always this notion of talking about healthy fats and unhealthy fats, good and bad fats. It doesn't really exist, but I mean, the unsaturated fats that are good for your low density, or that are lowering low density lipoproteins and increasing high density lipoproteins, is really what we want to get in, and this is perfect for that. And then we have coconut cream, which is also loaded with healthy fats. So we're going to put that in here. This is like the blooming process. This is essentially going to give the brownies that nice gooey texture.
So a brownie needs that. It needs that kind of fudgy texture.
Yeah, this is how we're achieving this in this case, because we're not using eggs, because these are vegan. So this is going to double as that sort of binding gooey factor. Right, while that's going to bloom for a little bit, we're going to get to the dry ingredients.
Okay.
So what we have here is, I mean, this is gluten-free flour. You can also use all-purpose flour if you don't have this. So we're going to mix.
I mean, we're spoiled for choice now. There's so many good gluten-free flours. Flours available now.
That goes in there. There are some beautiful cocoa. This is organic, nice, rich cocoa that goes in there. So we're mixing all the dry ingredients. A teaspoon of baking soda that goes in there. Just a little bit of salt. We usually just say a pinch of salt. You can just eyeball that. Cool. Give that a little whisk together. So we've mixed our dry ingredients. And the idea with making any sort of baked goods is you mix your dry ingredients, get the baking soda nice and evenly distributed. And then when we have our wet ingredients ready, we'll whisk that in there. So, I mean, you can see this has kind of come together nicely.
Beautiful.
Bloomed. This is where the magic happens.
Okay.
So here we're adding the fats. So it's half a cup of the oil. It goes in there. This is a quarter cup. So
and I suppose sometimes with a snack, especially with kids that are going through exams and stuff, they need a little bit of an energy kind of spike as well. Sometimes they need something just to give them that little surge. And if it's going to have the brain boosting power of the omegas thrown in, fantastic.
And I think what's super nice about these brownies is they can be kept frozen for like 2 months.
Oh, wow.
So you can make them, you can freeze them, and they defrost beautifully in the lunchbox, so you can put them in frozen, and when they get to school or whatever, they have them. I'm sure all their friends are going to be super jealous as well. Teaspoon of vanilla essence.
Okay.
It's just a nice way to add flavor. It brings out the flavor of everything else. All right, so we've mixed our wet ingredients. Once you have this little concoction ready.
I think this is a great way of approaching a lot of the classic things that you love, like flapjacks, pancakes, even breads. You've got so many healthy options on the gluten-free side now, the healthy fats, all the additives that you can put in. You can take those kind of family favorites and you can update them.
Absolutely. I mean, and this is just a general method. You can use this for all kinds of baking goods. So this goes into the dry ingredients, either way. Give that a quick whisk. So this is where the magic happens here.
Oh, lovely.
Comes together so nicely.
Dense, because it's always that balance of like, you need a little bit of crisp on the outside, but it needs to have that like gooey density.
So that's what we're getting to here. Also, like with baking, obviously it's an exact science, but you gotta play it by ear a little bit. So this
Get a feel for it.
we're gonna have a nice thick.
I've got a little station set up for me here.
Yeah,
So while you wrap up the finishing touches there, what can I do?
So this is actually the
very
end
exciting.
product. I'm just quickly going to show you. So at the end here, you've got little walnuts that are diced up. You chuck that in there.
Good fats as well.
Beautiful hemp seeds.
wow.
Very nutritious, add amazing flavor. Get them
So
in
hot
there.
right now as well.
Yeah.
Really popular.
Chopped up dark chocolate that's unsweetened. Get that all into your dough. If I can ask you quickly, this is also canola. What people don't know is often you're adding a lot of fat to your pan. With this, it's healthy fats. You can just spray that so that we don't have any sticking.
There we go.
Cool, and once you've folded this all together nicely, it's a nice, beautiful, dense dough. You'll get that into your tin. Press it down nicely with wet hands. Put it in the oven, 180 degrees, 20 minutes. Comes out beautifully gooey. Once that's cooled, if you want to, I mean, this is for the aesthetic element
Yeah,
and a little
man.
bit of more flavor. You want to put the icing sugar into the chocolate just to sweeten it a little bit. And this is now your drizzle. So this is going to make them look beautiful. So nice mix up there. Drizzle that over your brownies. Top it with walnuts and a little bit of hemp seeds, and you have a beautiful, healthy snack.
Absolutely beautiful decadent. It's almost like a ganache. Absolutely lovely. You've got texture, you've got crunch, you've got bucket loads of flavor, and of course you have got the healthy addition of our BWELL canola oil, bringing in those healthy omega fats. Dude, you've done it again. You've tricked half of the country into eating healthily. Absolutely love it.
Cool.
And then you can find this recipe on expressoshow.com. Wow.